Hi there, folks, and it's Matt Metagross here, bringing you the MLBA Season 1 Draft Analysis. Heads up, the quality might not be great and the sound might be a little choppy, but not great recording equipment as you'll soon probably get used to, but hoping you like the content anyway, and let's get started. So, the first mon we picked was Mega Sableye. Now, I love this thing because it deters our hazards, so the rocks and especially the T-spikes won't be getting set up on us. Means that people can't spam T-wave or other status moves against us. And its only weakness is fairy, and there is no hidden power fairy, so you know exactly what's going to be able to hit you and what can't. Which is an absolutely great aspect to have in a wall of any type. Not to mention it can set up and it gets access to the stab knockoff, or just straight special setup, which is probably the most common set, but either way, very powerful, very good wall. So, as you can see, our next pick is Thunderous T, and you can see that it's a Zmon. Now, I'm going to take a second to explain how the drafting style and the Zmons worked. So, pretty much, it's PPL style, which means you don't have a set number of mons that you can pick, and and the point system is based on each mon having its own set amount of cost. So, if you had 9 or 10 mons, then only 3 could use Z moves, but we had 11, or some people also had 12 mons, which means I could have 4 Z mons that could use any Z moves they had access to. And Thunder T just has this amazing move pool, an insane special attack stat, and it's also an electric immunity. And I'm actually, I'm not absolutely certain on this, but my gut says that it's the strongest special attacking mon in the format that doesn't. Well, it's not a mega basically, so it can hold an item and just blow absolute holes or a scarf and become faster, and it's just incredibly diverse, incredibly powerful, great special wall breaker sweeper, and I'm so glad I picked it up. So my next pick is Tyranitar, and even though, as you'll see later, I didn't actually pick up a Sand Sweeper, I actually don't think Tyranitar needs a Sand Sweeper. It's so good by itself, and that actually just means that I get to use it better, honestly. Sand Sweepers, in my personal opinion, can hold Tyranitar back as to the mon itself's full potential, because if you were on a Sand team, would you ever run this thing as a DD sweeper? I didn't think so. I mean, I've got about 1 billion different Tyranitar sets that I'm so excited to use, and hopefully they all put in the work. So the next mon I picked was the fire type monster that is Entei. I love offensive fire types in the league. This is actually my first time ever using an Entei, but, well, the wall breaking power is amazing. Paired with Thundy T, nothing walls my team anymore. So, and then I also have a great wall in Sableye, so I'm already interested to see how teams try to deal with me. I'm feeling some gimmicks coming my way because I'm very bad at facing gimmicks. So yeah, let's see how this goes because Entei is an absolute monster. Number one thing it does is just click Sacred Fire, but tell me one thing that wants to switch into a Sacred Fire that's not a Floatzel or a Flash Fire mon. So the next thing I'm picking up is another Z move user in Greninja, and this is Torrent Greninja that gets all its ORS tutors. So those Z moves on that coverage, yeah, my opponent's gonna have a hard time prepping for this thing, and just the fact that I get so much coverage to use on Z moves already just in my first 2, and then I have 2 other great ones in the back. It's gonna be fun for me, I know that, and I'm hoping that my offensive core just keeps getting better and better, and as you will see later, it did improve indeed. But before improving that offensive core, I wanted to finish off my Firewater Grass core. And I noticed I was lacking a little bulk, so I picked up one of the best bulky grass types in the format, and that's Chestnut. Yeah, it has a 4 times weakness to flying, whatever. I know everything gets frickin' air ice, but it has great dual stabs. It can set up, and it has immunity to like 40 moves or something, including Sludge Bomb, which is what a lot of things want to hit this thing with. So this is a very, very, very good mon to use. Additionally, that Drain Punch that I got from the RS Tutors gives this thing decent enough recovery that it can stick around well enough as long as you get it in on the Steel type. So next is Haxorus. It's a Dragon Dance user, and it's a Dragon type that can be a Fairy killer. This is also another Zmon user because it has an excellent move pool, and also gets the Mole Breaker. So using my Z Earthquake on a Levitator will always hit. So that is such a good thing to have that I thought Haxorus was worth my Dragon pick. Now, in draft, there is a third core that I always love to have, and that is the Dark, Psychic, and Fighting core, which I finished off here with Meloetta. Now, the thing I love about Meloetta is the 2 forms, so even though I did already have a Fighting type in Chestnut, it's not the most offensive. I have an offensive Fighting type, an offensive Normal type, and an offensive Psychic type in the same pick. The only problem about the Pirouette form is that you can't run it with a choice anything, but Life Orb Pirouette form still hits like a truck, so I'm not too concerned about it. Also, this thing is pretty bulky. I mean, it's not going to be like a wall like the bulky psychic types I love to have. Like, Mesprit is my favorite bulky psychic type just because it's so diverse and it's low tier, unlike Mew. So, but offensive psychic types are also very potent in the format, and I'm so excited to use this one. So the next thing I picked up was something that continued my Fairy Dragon Steel core, which was Gramble. Now the reason I love Gramble is because it's Intimidate, it's a cleric with Heal Bell. I think it gets Wish. I'll have to check on that, but I do think it gets Wish. It has an excellent attack stat, decent coverage because it gets Earthquake and Fire Punch, so not horrible, and I'm excited to use Gramble as a wall and a cleric this season. Next, I picked up my final Zmon, which is Archeops. Archeops is offensive rock type, very good in the format, and a little bit of bird spam, and bird spam is fun to use. The Defeatist can hurt it, but this thing's also a defogger, so if it gets low, I come in Suicide Defog or Suicide Rocks, and then just kind of let it die off, which isn't the greatest thing to do, or I can Roost if I have a good matchup. I mean, Archeops is a very good mon if you use it right, and the reason I made it my Z-move mon is because this thing's Supersonic Sky Strike is so powerful. Possibly the most powerful flying move in the format, and there's very few teams that can eat up bird spam. Most teams just don't have a switch into it, so this is just my one thing. If I need an automatic kill button, I bring it. It's the automatic kill button. To finish off the draft, I still wanted another electric community because I didn't have a ground type, and I needed to get a steel type. And with the points I had left, Togedemaru fit the bill perfectly. This thing also gets Iron Barb, so I can use Rocky Helmet on it and become a little mini Garchomp. And this thing, I wish it got Steel Stabs so much, but it does get Zing Zap, which is essentially Electric Iron Head, and it gets Poison Jab, so the fairy killing's done anyways. Plus, I already have a decent, 2 really good fairy killers, so that's not a huge issue for me. And finishing off that core was really important to me, and I'm so excited to use Togedemaru this season. So yeah, that's the team. Tell me what you thought in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. And tell me what you thought of the team, and just say how excited you are for this season of the MLBA Season 1. This is Matt Metagross, coach of the Manhattan Metagross, signing off.